Good evening, everybody. If you are watching after the fact, then please do feel free to skip ahead to qualifying, as we're just setting up the rest of the stream. No, I can't do that. No, I can just go. Oh no! Got to edit that title. Oh, life back. Yes, there was going to be comms. Yes, if I only raced last week because my voice still wasn't up to scratch, but I am back with comms now. I'm not sure how regular Tier 1 comms will be. I've been on a streak of being available in the evenings recently, but that could all be subject to change. Real life can and will get in the way, as that has been proven. But hello everybody, welcome back to Tier 1. The finale, we've got 15 drivers, which is great. It looks like we're being for a good race. I think we're not far from readying up. But yes, hello, welcome. I'll finish off my cup of tea and swap it out for a nice tall glass of water. Yeah, I'd imagine next season will be very short. Yeah, especially with F1 22 coming out so early. Actually, I wouldn't. Not last year's game came out. Well, this year's game came out in the middle of July. With next year's coming out early July. So I'd imagine, yeah, about 6, 7, 8 rounds, depending on how quickly the turnover is from round to round. But anyway, we'll get ourselves started by saying good evening everybody and welcome back to the commentary box for tonight's dose of racing action. I am Sumo, your commentator for this evening, and I'm very glad to be bringing you the Tier 1 action this evening. We find ourselves in the Styrian Hills this evening for a trip to the Red Bull Ring in Austria. 10 corners and 4.318 kilometres see us on a lap around this circuit that always sees some great racing action both in real life and in the simulated world. The circuit is short and fast and plenty of action is to be had, but the drivers will have to be careful of pushing too hard as track limits are ever present here. It's the final race of the season and we have crowned our drivers champion and our constructors champion. MX has become the first driver to win an APPF1 Tier 1 championship twice. And it's quite a grand accolade to have for the first time for any of our drivers, so well done to MX. I'm sure he'll get a couple more under his belt in the future. Ferrari win the title for the second time and have been the dominant force all season. A big well done to Jacko and Rick for claiming the constructors title once again. Ferrari have been very strong here over in Tier 1 over the last couple of seasons, and I'm sure that will continue even if they race for that team. That's a decent driver pairing. The last race of the season will see our drivers having some fun and perhaps racing a little harder than they would if the championships were still on the line. So expect some good action to come out of tonight's racing. Let me get all of my bits and bobs up ready for you. It's odd commentating without my commentary better half in Ghost, the stats man, as you may know. But anyway, APPF1 Tier 1 is sponsored by High Dive Apparel, who are responsible for some awesome t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, and much more over on their website. Go check them out over at highdiveapparel.com and head over to their Facebook and Instagram to check out all their socials and show them all the love and support that you show the APPF1 streams when we pop them up there for you. But without further ado, we'll get into qualifying, as I think it's going to be it's the Ferrari of Jackalacco who will be the first driver out onto the circuit, the Scotsman and my teammate for Sprint Championship. Yeah, Austria's a great race. Yeah, I'm not doing so bad, Hartman. I'm much better now. I had a horrible week of it last week with a nasty chest infection, but I'm back up to scratch now, just sort of shrugging off the last few bits of it. My 23rd birthday's in a couple of days as well. Another year older. But I digress. So you don't want to know about me, you want to know about the racing that we are in for. Yes, I'm glad to be better. I've missed a lot of commentary. I did get to race, which is something I've not been able to do for a while now. But commentary will be something good to get back on the horse, though. We're right on board there with Jackalacco as he opens up the DRS to start his lap. Tricky turn 1. It's quite the braking zone down here, and if you get it all wrong, you could be invalidating your lap before you've really even begun it. But Jackalacco traverses turn 1 nicely. Turn 2 is this little kink just coming up here. It's just this little left-hander. There was a bump here on the previous iterations of the game, but that's gone now. Heavy braking zone now to turn 3. Very tricky in the traction zone to get it off, but Jackalacco has again navigated that one very well, opening up the DRS for the second time on the lap, on the second DRS straight to head down to turn 4. It's a long right-hander. You can really gain or lose a lot of time if you get that wrong there, but Jackalacco has got it all wrong as he loses the rear end and goes straight into the barrier. That's not going to be a great lap for him. He's going to slow down and back out. So we're right on board with Koru, who's continuing the lap, coming down to turn 5 now. It's a quick flick to the left. You've got to really commit and try and find the grip to get around there. Another flick to the left as well. They're finding that grip very tricky not to invalidate there, and I think Koru has. So that Koru backs out on that lap. I think MX is on an out lap right now. So who is on a lap that I can follow along with? I think it's going to be Speed Alcoholic, is it? No, I think it's Ghost. Ghost is also on a lap, but so is Womax. No, is that Aces? We're on board with Ghost as he comes through to the next part. So Ghost is also invalidated. So track limits, like I said before, really catching the drivers out here this evening. It's a very tough track, and even the pros over in the proper sim racing can do it. How about Lifebout then? Tier 2 driver, of course, coming out on without traction control on for the first time. I don't think this is going to be a good lap from him. No, he's way down on the time. Trying to find somebody who's on a decent lap at the moment so I can finish off going. Speed Alcoholic sets the first lap of the session, and we're right on board with Traffic Aligo as he comes around this final lap. That's turn 8 just there, and it's 2 right-hand corners down toward the final down toward the final straight. And it's they can be very tricky as well if you don't get them right. You've really got to be committed on a lot of the corners around here, but the Alpha Tauri will come across the line for 1:47. So only a few hundredths of a second off of Speed, who's put his time on the medium tyres now. Is that Aces coming for a lap? No, but he's not going to finish a lap, but he is on a lap. He sets a purple sector 2, but I wouldn't trust those times just yet. We are only a little bit into the session. Let's go ride on the broadcast cameras. MX is starting his lap. I think a Red Bull will be starting theirs. I think that's Zidane. So let's watch Aces versus Kings. He's coming across the line now. He goes pole position by 2/10 on the medium tyre as well. So a lot of drivers opting to go onto the mediums right now. Here comes Lifebout again. He's invalidated that lap, so we won't see much from him. How about Tinoz, the recently crowned Tier 2 champion out. He's invalidated his lap as well, so we won't be seeing a lap from him on this particular occasion. We've got an Aston Martin. I think that's Koru coming through. Fastest Sector 2 again, but we won't worry about those until everybody's set a lap time, because it doesn't tell the full truth of the story. So he's coming around the final couple of corners now. Looks very committed as he comes into the last corner. Run all the way down to the line. It's not too long of a run to the line. Is it going to be pole position provisionally? Yes, it is. It's a 1 minute 4.0. We've got a Red Bull coming across. That's Demoniac coming across the line. He's invalidated his lap, so we won't see anything. How about the defending champion, MX, two-time Tier 1 champion? What can he do across the line? It's a 1 minute 4.2. It puts him on the front row of the grid provisionally. How about Zidane? Zidane coming across the line for a lap now. It's a 1 minute 4.7, followed by Jackalacco in the Ferrari. He's come out again to start another lap. Hopefully this one goes better. Is that Slippy Jimmy? No, it's not. It's who's coming across the line now? I think it's Womack's on an out lap. It is. That would be Tinoz, who's on a lap now. So we'll see what the Tier 2 champion can do. I'm sure he'll be over here in Tier 1 this time next season. Well, not this time next season, but next season at least. Let's see what he can do coming across the line. It puts him up onto the second row of the grid in P4 there, provisionally for now. Who's coming across the line? I think that's Slippy Jimmy and the other Alpine coming across the line now. Where's it going to put him? It's going to put him up into P5, 4.5. Very close between a lot of the drivers this evening. I think Jackalacco's about to come finish up. It's a very short lap, so qualifying is very hectic in terms of qualifying, and it's invalidated for Jackalacco, so it's not the qualifying session that the Scotsman would want at all. He is having a terrible qualifying to start off his evening. Let's ride on board with Womack, who's coming across the final couple of corners. Let's see what lap time he can set in the Williams. He hasn't yet set a lap time. This is his first of the evening, laying down his own gauntlet. It's enough for P6 for now. Let's see, is that Traffic Alligator? No, it's Lifebout who is starting a lap, so we'll keep an eye on that. Hartman out as well, the one half of the currently Constructors Championship leading Tier 2 duo in the Alpha Tauris, yet to wrap up the title for themselves, of course. Lifebout has invalidated his lap. Hartman started his. Tinoz is in the pit lane. Let's see, I think Ghost is out, our 4-time sprint champion. He's out on a hot lap, an out lap right now, so we'll wait to see what he can do as he comes around. I think Tier's on a lap. Is Womack? Is that Womack's on a lap? I don't think Womack is on a lap. He's actually about to run out of fuel. So I think Lifebout, I know he's invalidated. I'm just trying to find somebody on a lap. I think the Red Bulls Zidane, no, they'll be coming into the pits. So I think it is Tier who is going to set the next lap then. Coming through Sector 2 now, we've got to be very very committed. He's on the medium tyres, so a lot of drivers opting to give them a go and see what they can do. That's a Haas off. I think that's Hartman, who's had a bit of an off through Sector 2 there. Is it? Yes, it was. As Tier's come through, bringing out those yellow flags. Drivers start coming out for their second runs of the evening. Let's see what Tier can do. It puts him up into P10 at the moment, so he's the bottom of the drivers on who have set competitive laps, as Hartman has gone round again, it seems, or has just gone slowly. Those tyres probably very, very hot right now. Very slippy for the driver. But let's watch Ghost then. He's coming around to set his first lap of the session. Not a slow driver at all. He's had a horrible run of form in Tier 1. He dropped it last week in Monza, which is very odd for the 4-time sprint champion. But we'll see what he can do around Austria. He puts it on the second row. He's only 0.02 of a second away from Koru, who sits on provisional pole position for now. MX comes around to start a lap. I think that's a Red Bull of Demoniac starting a lap. So we'll go back to, I think Lifebout's coming into the pits. I think Traffic Alligator will be coming back into the pits as well. A lot of invalidations there. That's Tier off in Sector 3. Easy place to lose it if you're not careful. Hartman coming round to set a lap maybe. He's 0.2 down on his previous best. which isn't a great start to his lap, so I'm sure he'll be peeling into the pit lane. But let's see, Jackalacko sits fastest sector 2, but he's still yet to set a lap, so this isn't representative of what he's going to be able to do. He's not going to be fastest likely, but we'll see as he comes through the final couple of corners. Perhaps he might prove us all wrong. He comes down toward the line now. What lap time is it going to be? It's looking like a fairly quick one. It's a 1 minute 4.1. Only a tenth off of the guys ahead of him on the front row. That's not a bad lap at all. Koru comes across the line to set a 1 minute 3.8 and put himself even further ahead on that pole position provisionally. How about MX? Is MX on a lap now? He's 2 seconds down. No, he's not on a lap. So we'll leave that for now as the defending champion carries on. Demoniac sets his first lap of the session. Not incredibly quick from the Red Bull driver, but it's a lap on the board. How about Traffic Alligator? He's 2 tenths up on his previous best. This could see him improve up into the top 5. What a good lap. What an improvement from the AlphaTauri driver. That's not bad at all. Well, who's next to come across? I think Ace is on an outlap. Slippy Jimmy's on an outlap as well. We'll find somebody, Speed Alcoholic. He's on a lap. I expect him to go fast. He's on an outlap right now. I think Koru. Is Koru going again, or is he on a slow lap? I think he's on a slow lap. He's not quite got the battery life to go again. So we're keeping an eye. Zidane's on an outlap. Some 2-lap-old tyres. I think Eat My Dust is on a lap, so I'll follow along with Eat My Dust in McLaren, the only other driver not to set a lap time yet. We're well over the halfway point of the session now. So we'll wait and see what he can do as he comes around the final corner to come across the line. It's a 1 minute 5.2, not incredibly fast on the McLaren driver, but there's plenty of time to find that improvement. And is that Slippy Jimmy coming? No, that's Ace is coming to start his second run of the evening. LifePath needs to ride on board with Slippy Jimmy then. All these drivers in Tier 1 incredibly fast, of course, and you can see by how close these qualifying times are. But let's see where Slippy Jimmy is. He's no improvement. He's down by 0.06 of a second. It's that speed coming across the line. It is. He's up 6 tenths. So this could be a major improvement for the McLaren driver. He's up 3 tenths, but there's no... I think he must have invalidated that lap time. That's going to be a shame for him. That'd have been a great lap. That would have seen him on pole position, perhaps, as well. But alas, he's invalidated, so he'll have to go again. Here comes Womax on an out lap, so we won't ride on board with him just yet. How about Tinos? Tinos coming across for a lap, is he? I think he is. Let's see if he can improve up into the top 5. He'll want to be up in that particular area. He's 2 tenths up. He does go into P5 for now. We'll see if anyone knocks him out of there. I think Aces is coming across. He's invalidated his lap time, so he'll be going again. There was some improvement there, so he can surely do that next time around. How about Lifebound coming across the line now? Goes up to P4. What a lap from Lifebound. What a lap. He's seen some amazing improvement in Tier 2, and me and Ghost have both enjoyed watching him improve and getting himself onto the top step of the podium in that time. So it's great to see him do well here in Tier 1. Here comes Tier in it for an improvement. He goes up into the 1 minute 4.6s for P12. A decent lap from the Williams driver. Who is next across the line? Is that Womax coming along? It is. He's 2 tenths down, so it's not going to be much of an improvement from Womax. I think he's going to peel into the pits. Yes, he is. How about Tinos? Is he peeling into the pit lane as well? Of course. Ace is there. Ghost is out on another out lap, so we'll be coming up to our final runs of the session now. I've always found Austria qualifying as a commentator to be incredibly hectic to try and bring you every single piece of on-track action. But Jackalacko's out for an out lap as well. I'm trying to find the driver who's going to be first to set a lap out of the guys out on circuit right now. Tier will be coming into the pit lane. Zidane will be coming into the pit lane. So it's Ghost that I'm going to want to follow along with. So we'll follow along then with Ghost as he goes on his second hot lap of the session. He'll be looking to get pole position, but he's 6 tenths down. He must have had a mistake at turn 1, and I think he's backing off that lap. Yeah, he doesn't activate the DRS, so he'll back off that lap and he'll try and push for the next one. But someone who has improved is Jackalacko, who goes purple to the first sector, so he'll be looking to steal pole position off of Koru. He comes through turn 4 as he invalidates on the exit. That is a shame. He's got plenty of time to slow down and go set a lap again. He'll just charge that battery and save those tyres for another lap. Is Traffic Alligator on a lap? No, he's not. So we'll leave that one aside for now. Koru is on an out lap right now. I think the driver to turn our attention to is going to be MX, our reigning champion thus far. He's going to start his final lap, what should be his final lap of the session. Drivers might have enough time for one more. It's a very short lap around here. It's only about a minute 3, a minute 4 lap time, as is an AlphaTauri rejoining the circuit. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Must have been a lifeboat, I'd imagine. Yeah, he's had a bit of a moment coming out of the pit lane. That's fine. So MX, I didn't see the improvement on his time, but we'll have a look at that sector time once he comes through sector 2 over into sector 3 after turn 6 in along there. It's looking pretty tidy from the Alfa Romeo driver, but we'll wait and see. MX isn't the strongest in qualifying. It's the race where he tends to make up his positions. It's purple sector 2 for the Alfa Romeo driver. He's down by 1/100th of a second, so I'm not sure this is going to be too much of an improvement. It might see him just enter into the 1 minute 4.0s, but I think pole position is out of reach for the German Canadian. But we'll have a look as he goes along. It's a 1 minute 4.083, puts him up onto P3 on the grid thus far. Lifeboat is on an out lap. We'll see who's coming across next. Traffic Alligator is here on a lap. I'm not sure. He is on a lap. It's going to put him up into P6 on the 3rd row with his teammate as well. Koru goes even faster with a 1 minute 3.7. Ghost improves. Jackalaka improves up, and it's 0.003 of a second off of Ghost at the moment. It is getting very close between all of the drivers here. I'm trying to bring you all the action best I can. Slippy's on an out lap. Tinon's on an out lap. Hartman, where's Hartman right now? I think he's on a lap, but he's 4/10 down on his previous best. So I think this might be not be the best qualifying for Hartman, but we'll let him come around again and he might set one more lap. Tinnos is on an out lap as well. How about MX? Is he on an improvement? He's going for it, but he's invalidated that lap time, so there'll be no improvement for the Alfa Romeo driver. Aces, I think, will be setting up his final run. He's got plenty of time to get across the line. What about Speed? He's on his final run as well. Keep an eye on him. He will not be in P15 unless he invalidates toward the end of his lap. Is this Lifeboat? No, Lifeboat's invalidated. That's Traffic Alligator coming around again. Koru, is he going to improve? It looks like he is. He's a 1 minute 3.5. He's 5/10 ahead of the rest of the pack right now. So they've got to really find a lot of improvement to come across. That's Womack's going across the line. This is Tier coming across. Not much of an improvement from the Williams driver. How about Jack Alacco as he comes across the line? No, he's way down on his time. We'll have a look. Is this Lifeboat coming across again? This will be starting his final out lap. I think we've got 5 seconds after qualifying. So we're going to watch the Haskars now. Tinnos will be the first of the final runners to cross the line, because qualifying is now over. A big moment of understeer from Tinnos as he goes over the white line. That's going to be his qualifying over. I think that's Aces versus Kings coming across. He's invalidated, so let's see what Speed's up. He's up by 7/10 at the moment. That's going to put him into the 1 minute freeze. Let's see if he can go. He can challenge Koru for pole position perhaps, but I think it's going to be P2. It is. It's 1 minute 3.9, so he joins Koru on the front row of the grid. It's MX on a lap, though. He peels into the pit lane. I think Koru has done the same as well. How about Womack? Womack is on a lap. He's a 10th down, though, so there's going to not be much improvement from the Williams driver unless he can find it here. No improvement from the Williams driver. He does a little crash over the line. That's Tier as well. No improvement from him. How about the AlphaTauri's? Lifeboat's invalidated. Traffic Alligator's way down on his time as well. I think that is going to be the end of the qualifying session on his Slippy Jimmy. No, he's way down on his time as well. I think that is going to be a lot then. Koru takes pole position for the final race of season 4 of Tier 1. Great stuff, guys. Yeah, track limits around here is a pain. I was doing time trial just before this, and every lap I only did about 3 laps, but I invalidated them all. It's so easy to invalidate around here. And I remember watching the virtual Grand Prix when they were run during the off time in 2020. Excuse me, in 2020. Even the professionals are do struggle with the track limits around here. But Koru then is your pole man for this evening's race, ahead by 0.4 of a second. It just kept improving. The track kept coming to him. Speed Alcoholic joins him on the front row of the grid. Just behind that is Ghost and Jackalacco on the second row of the grid. They'll be looking to challenge for the win on this final race here. Our reigning champion MX takes P5 with Lifebout, Traffic Alligator, Tin Oz, Womax and Eat My Dust making up the rest of the top 10. Demoniac, Aces vs Kings, Zidane, Slippy Jimmy, Tyr and ISR Hartman make up the tail end of the grid. We are in for quite the race if that qualifying session is anything to go by. Would have been P2, that is a shame. It would have been nice to see you well up there into P2 Lifebout. You've definitely got the pace to be there. Lost all of my 4 laps at turn 1 is a pain. If you don't get it right, that really sets the rest of your lap up for failure, I find. Yes, thank you guys. Do remember to like the stream, and if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet and you like what you're seeing and you're hearing, then please do subscribe. It really does help me out. We're only a little channel over here, but every subscriber and every like always helps. And if we can get to 100 subscribers, that'll be cool. Anyway, and make sure you also go check out High Dive Apparel, our sponsor for Tier 1. They do some awesome stuff over there at their website, so please do go and check them out and give them all the love and support you show us over here. Oh, 5 seconds waiting for that formation lap to come along. If you're watching the stream right now, you're in the chat. Make sure you pop in your podium predictions. I'll put mine in a second. So then, my podium prediction. I think Koru might go for the Grand Slam here. He can be rather inconsistent, but I think if he can get away well, he'll get there. I'm gonna say speed, and you know, I'll back Lifebout for this one. He looked pretty quick in qualifying. You never know though, but he likes to back the underdog. He's done very, very well in Tier 2, and I would not be surprised at all if he can get a podium here this evening. But let me get everything else up for you guys, and you guys like having the telemetry and stuff up. We'll have the position changes up for the first few laps. But the drivers are just coming around now. It's an incredibly short lap. I think this is the shortest lap time. I'm not sure distance-wise. I think Monaco might just be shorter. If anyone knows. Pop it in the chat right now. I can't remember if which track is the shortest on the F1 calendar, but it's this is definitely one of them, if not the. So we're just lining up on the grid now. I'll be waiting for that camera, waiting for those lights. We've got 36 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of us, and it's looking like one hell of a finale to a great Tier 1 season. One-stop strategy, two-stop I think for some drivers as well. I'll have a look at the time. Have a look at the tyres in a moment. We're just waiting for that camera. So 4, 5 red lights. And away they go for the Austrian Grand Prix. Looks like an incredible start from Speed, who just flies off the line. MX goes as well. They're going to go side by side. The Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo. Bit of contact back there from Ghost, who goes into the back of Corey at the moment. But it's a very clean start from Speed Alcoholic. A great start from MX, who's dropped back down a position, but he's coming back at Ghost again. He's going to go round the outside of turn 3. The two Alpha Tauris going wheel to wheel together as well, as well as a Williams and a Haas. Just a little bit further back, a little bit of contact between the Alpha Tauri drivers. But MX on the hunt again already. He's all over the back of Ghost, and he's going on the attack. Once again, he's going to go all the way around the outside, and I think he's got that position done now. Ghost is going to just slot in behind him and leave him to it. Speed Alcoholic still ahead for the moment. Anybody else going as well? Jack Alacco getting up the inside of Lifeboat. He got a little bit swamped off the start of this race, and he's dropped down a couple of positions as well. There's a yellow flag, there's a Red Bull off the circuit. That's Demoniac, and I think that's Ghost. Ghost is gone. He's in the gravel. I think he's kept it out of the wall for the moment, but I think he's going to be way down the order now. That is a shame. Fastest laps coming in from a lot of the drivers then. The Williams of Womack looking to get a position. He's having a look, but he's not close enough at all for the moment. So he'll just slot in behind and wait to see. That's another driver slipping down the order. That's Koru. Koru in P2. He's lost it at turn 1. He's got no wing. That's an unplanned pit stop for him and for Tier as well. Casualties of the first lap include Ghost, Tier, Demoniac, and after on the second lap, it's Koru who has dropped the ball. As Aces and Womack have a little skirmish as Womack goes straight up the inside of Aces, who goes very deep into turn 4 and loses out on that position. We'll switch over to the tyres now so we can see what everybody started on. Aces, Eat My Dust, and Slippy Jimmy and Hartman all starting on the medium tyres. A lot of them either qualifying on or starting outside of the top 10 in order to start on that tyre. But it looks like Speed's just checked out for the moment. He's just setting fastest laps. He's just got to keep MX at bay at the moment. And if he can do that, we've got quite the battle going on here. We've got quite the train starting from Traffic Alligator, going all the way back down to Zidane in the Red Bull here. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 car battle as Jack Alacco's trying to find a way through. Very quick driver, of course, on his day. One half of the championship winning constructors team at the moment. He's going to go wheel to wheel with Traffic Alligator. He's going to look to go around the outside. Traffic Alligator not giving him the room. He's squeezing him. They're still going to go side by side on the through turn 5 and down toward turn 6. I think Jack Alligator might just have this, but the Alpha Tower is going to stay there with him. They're going to continue to go side by side. This is great racing from these two as Jack Alligator takes that inside line and gets the position down. Great racing from those two. I think Aces versus Kings is on the hunt as well. Womack and Aces are on a battle between themselves at the minute in this train of cars. There's a lot going on. Lifeboat on the back of his teammate trying to find a way through. I think Traffic Alligator might be ailing a little bit for pace. As I say that, though, he is going on the attack on Jack Alacco, who I think is going to fend him off. They're going to go side by side through turn 1. It can be very tricky there. It's a very tight corner, but they managed to navigate it well. This is quite the little battle going on here. MX still falling back as Traffic Alligator looks to dive up the inside. Lifebound now going around the outside of his teammate. That's not quite going to work, and he's going to lose a place to Tinos. Is he? No, Tinos just sits back behind. This is a lot of action going on between this train of cars, and I think Traffic Alligator is going to start it off again. He's going up the inside of Jack Alacco, and he's going to get in position. Jack Alacco looking to go for the switchback as the Alpha Tauri goes deep, but he covers him off just well enough. I think Tinos has got past Lifebout as well, so he'll be looking to try and get involved in this battle. Lifebout dropping down. Has he got damage? No, I think he's just struggled through that last little portion of Sector 2 there. We're going back up. Eat My Dust now gets past Lifebout. He is really struggling and falling way back. He must have some sort of damage perhaps from this. I think he's going to peel into the pit lane. That is a shame. He was running way up the order, and now he's making that unplanned pit stop. These guys battling again. Jacko really wants to get past Traffic Alligator here. He will want to break away from this train if he can, but that's going to be easier said than done for the Ferrari. He's going to look to the outside. They're going to go wheel to wheel into turn 3. They're wheel to wheel behind them as well. and they're going to continue to go side by side. Great racing stuff. The better line goes to the AlphaTauri, but Jacalaco's going to stay with him, using his ERS, all that battery he can, to stay with the AlphaTauri, who has the DRS into the next corner, and the AlphaTauri will just stay ahead as well. Womack and Eat My Dust going wheel to wheel. Womack's holding off the McLaren for the time being. I think Aces has dropped way back. I think I was talking about Slippy Jimmy a lot of that time. I can't remember. But I digress. We go back to the front of this little train of action at the moment. Jacalaco's still trying to find a way past Traffic Alligator and keep the guys behind him as well. Just having a quick sip of water. My voice is already going on this action, as you can probably tell. But Jacalaco on the attack once more. Traffic Alligator trying to break the toe, trying to go. He goes all the way defensive into the down towards the run to turn one. Jacalaco still not trying to find a place round, but there's a lot of DRS zones on this circuit. There's three all back to back, so Jacalaco's got plenty of chances to attack, but plenty of chances for Traffic Alligator to come back at him, who keeps him around the outside. And the Tinos looks up the inside as well. He's got Womack battling with him as well, who goes around the outside of the Haas car and gets up into fifth place. A good move from the Williams, very opportunistic from him. Jacalaco's still trying to find a way past his AlphaTauri, who is just not giving at all. It's a brick wall on the circuit. It is making himself wide as possible. That's a Red Bull round at turn 4. That's Zidane. He's had a little bit of a spin perhaps at the exit of that corner. That is a shame for him. He'll be well out of this train now. Jacalaco still looking to find a way past this AlphaTauri. This train battling on as well. I think Tinos is going to go on the attack here. He won't go into turn 1, but he'll be setting up that move for the next corner. Womack is low on ERS, so he's not going to have too much to attack with, but he gets a great exit out of turn 1. And Jacalaco's going to have to start looking in his mirrors rather than ahead of him, as he's got a Williams charging down toward turn 3, or I should say up really. But Jacalaco fends him off for now. Womack was not close enough, but who is close enough now is Tinos. He's all over the back of the Williams. The DRS keeping him in it. Slippy Jimmy getting past Eat My Dust by the looks of things. A little bit further back. They're ahead of the medium runners, and there's contact. There's contact. Eat My Dust and Slippy Jimmy come together as Eat My Dust tries to go around the outside with Slippy Jimmy clipping his rear left wheel. Jacalaco getting swamped as well as Tinos gets past, as well as Womack. Has Jacalaco got damage, or did he just make a mistake? We'll have to wait and see. I think the pit stop window will be coming up very soon, and Jacalaco is coming into the pit lane. So I wonder what happened to the Ferrari driver there. Is it damage that he's got on the car, or is it just time for him to stop and follow him into the pit lane? And we'll see what the pit crew do to his car. We'll keep an eye on the timing boards there, because I think Womack is on the attack once again. So we'll keep an eye on that. If they got a wing in that Ferrari box, they have, so he has got damage. That battling has taken its toll. But Womack getting past the Haas car of Tinos, getting himself up into P4. He's having an incredible race in that Williams right now. And as we've been talking about this battle, MX has caught up to the back of Speed Alcoholic. But look at the battery difference. Speed's barely used any of his battery, and MX has used the majority of it to try and catch up to the McLaren ahead. So we watch now as the leaders start to do battle, with Speed Alcoholic having the advantage, and I'm sure we'll be heading into that first pit window within the next few laps. Speed taking a very wide line through turn 9 there, not wanting to touch the curb. MX looking to try and close up to the back of that McLaren. I think Lifebout's on the back of Jacalaco, who's on slightly colder tyres. They're fresher than Lifebout in the AlphaTauri, but Lifebout has had that couple of laps to warm those tyres up. But we head back to the front as MX is looking for a way past. He looks to the way outside. Speed Alcoholic defends. MX looks to go and get the up and under on him, but he finds no way past. All he finds is the back right wheel of the McLaren, who is now under attack once again as MX goes up the inside, and I think that's going to be job done. Does Speed Alcoholic look to come back at him? He'll look to set up the move, but MX covers him off and keeps him behind for now to claim the first place for the moment. But he'll have to be smart with his usage of his ERS now, as behind him Speed Alcoholic has a full battery more or less. battle has died down a little bit in the midfield, but we do have a 3-car train with Hartmann at its head. 4P6 at the moment, as I think Womack has peeled into the pit lane now, so I think this must be his scheduled stop for the race. I think Speed Alcoholic might just come back at MX once again. No, he's opting to not use the DRS. I think he's just staying with him. He's going to work together with him perhaps, or he's just going to happy to sit there knowing that MX has not got a lot of DRS left in the tank and that he can attack at any time, but he does open up the DRS this time, but he's not going to be close enough. It's not a long enough run down toward turn 4 for Speed Alcoholic to make a pass. So the strategic mind is keeping him back there. Aces under threat now from Hartmann. They're going to go wheel to wheel, these two. Aces covers them off well on the inside. Hartmann looking to try and come back, looking to get the faster line through the corner. He's looking toward the inside, but sensibly he stays behind the Alpine for the moment and stays away from making that move. How about the leaders? What are they up to at the moment? They're still coming round. The pit window's not opening up yet. Womack's his way down the order. Now there's a yellow flag in sector 2. I think that's the Alpha Tauri of Lifeboat having a little bit of trouble while his teammates sat in P3 in no man's land, more or less. I mean, he's got Tenos looking to close well up onto the back of him, but he's outside of that DRS window for now. Speed still sat behind MX. I don't think you'll see any changes for position here unless MX makes a huge mistake. I think Speed is just playing games here. He's just sitting back. He knows he can stay with him. He knows he's faster than MX, and he knows, I mean, he doesn't know exactly how much battery he has, but he's sure that MX must have far less than he does, as Speed has more or less his whole battery at his disposal. As Lifeboat's coming to the pits yet again, he must have got damage on that previous lap as we follow the camera along, and there's something going on back here. There's a little battle between Slippy Jimmy and Tier in the Williams. It looks like Tier just got overtaken by the Alpine, who is on fresher soft tyres for the moment. Just trying to find some interesting battles. It's all died down a little bit. It's DRS trains now from here on in. For a lot of the drivers, and here comes Speed then. He's now chosen this moment as his moment to pounce. He's going to look to go around the outside of MX, who breaks even later and just cuts him off and closes the door on him, pushing him well out wide, leaving no room. MX gets the DRS as well, which is going to help him keep ahead of the McLaren right now, and he'll be needing that. He wants to keep that track position, but in so battling, he will inevitably harm his pace at the minute. He wants to get away from Speed, but Speed knows he won't happen, as I think Aces and Eat My Dust are coming together now. They're going to go wheel to wheel, are they? Yes, they are. Aces looking to go all the way around the outside of turn 6, and they're going to continue to go wheel to wheel as they come down to 7. Aces looking to try and get the better exit, and I think he's just about got there, but they're going to continue to go side by side, are they? They are. No, McLaren slots in behind. He thinks better of it as Aces gets up ahead. That was great racing, great respect shown between the two of them there. I think In My Dust might just be coming at it again. Both McLarens find themselves on the attack right now. Speed Alcoholic is right up on the back of MX again, but he's not going on the attack. He's not looking to get that pass. MX just gets a much better drive out of turn 3. And as I said, that Eat My Dust has got himself past Aces versus Kings again. And Aces will be looking to come back at him down towards turn 4. And he's opened up that DRS now. Tier gets up past, I think that was Koru or Demoniac getting past Tier. I can't quite see that. But Aces up the inside of turn 4 of the McLaren. And they're going to go round 2 again through here, are they? No, Aces shuts the door on him and says, you stay behind me this time, buddy. Few back, it's all kicking off up in the top 6 positions here. I think Eat My Dust just all over the back of Aces versus Kings. They're having a great battle. They're going to have to watch out for Hartmann, who has just entered into the DRS range of this battle. So we got a 2-car battle for the lead, a 2-car battle for P3, and a 3-car battle now for P4, 5, and 6. As a lot of changes going on up and down the grid. Tinos, and oh, there goes Traffic Alligator into the wall. He's lost all grip. I think he reset the track there. That's not allowed. I think the stewards will be slapping his wrists for that one. But Tinos finds himself on the last spot of the podium after Traffic Alligator loses the rear end and hits the wall. And Eat My Dust is once again in front of Aces versus Kings. These two swapping positions. We surely got to be entering into that pit stop window right now. As we look to come on to lap 15, the leaders haven't come in yet at all, so they're continuing to go. I think a one stop is on the cards for everybody on the circuit thus far. Nobody yet coming in. I think a few laps time we should start seeing the planned pit stops that the drivers were hoping to make. Speaking of pit stops, there's Traffic Alligator in to change that front wing. That was a shame for him. Eat My Dust and Ace is going wheel to wheel yet again. Ace is going up the inside of turn 3 and getting their position. He's also got the DRS, which is going to help him actually close up to Tinos, who's not too far up the road at all. So Tinos might find himself in a spot of bother here. As Speed and MX are going wheel to wheel, I only just realised that as Speed gets past MX this time, and I think he'll be looking to keep him behind him. At the moment, Speed still got a lot more battery than MX in the tank to go. I think Speed might even be coming into the pit lane. He is, yeah. Speed is going to box and he's going to try and get that undercut on MX. Speed is the first to come in. None of the other drivers in the top 6 have come in thus far. So Speed is the first to jump the shark, let's say. It comes to Dane in the Red Bull as well. So the first 2 to make their planned pit stops. Onto some fresh tyres. So we're right on board with Speed, who's come out ahead of Womack, which would be good for him. I'm not sure who else from the top 6 came in. I think somebody's actually had a moment. I'm not too sure what's happened there. Wasn't looking on the timing boards, but we'll see if MX does come in up in the lead. We'll keep an eye on those timing boards as well. As Traffic Alligator's getting himself past the Dane. They're going to go wheel to wheel. Oh, they know the Red Bull sits behind the Alpha Tauri. In comes MX then. So this is what we're going to be looking to see. Speed is coming through sector 3 now. He's on the run down toward turn 9. So we're going to have to be keeping an eye out for this. Is a 2.6 time loss for a pit stop. Tinos is in the pits as well. So Speed Alcoholic, keep an eye on the right hand side of the screen. I think he's going to jump well ahead of MX here, and he has. I think he's going to find himself way ahead. The undercut is super strong around this circuit. And MX is coming out just behind Womack here. It's a battle all the way down to turn 3, which I don't think MX is going to be able to win. And look at that. Almost a 3-second gap. And MX not going to be happy to be behind Womack. Using his battery, and he's in an attack already. That's not helped him at all. Hartman finds himself up in P3. It's a good run from the American at the moment. He's running himself a good race. Ace is provisionally in the front of this race, but I think Speed has cemented himself as the leader of this race, as the guys ahead of him are all yet to stop. And they're continuing to go because these guys are on the medium tyres, so I'd watch out for them on the soft tyres come the end of this race, as I think those mediums could easily do about 25-26 laps. Probably about 20, well, probably less. They'll probably do less than that, as the softs go quite a long way, as we have just seen in the previous stint. Cora was actually on the hards. I think it's because he did have that incident on lap 2, and that's why he's popped the hard tyres on. I reckon he could go all the way to the end but he's found himself in a very abysmal position. The same as Ghost as well, who had that incident on the opening laps. That is a shame for him, but Ghost has never wanted to give up, and there's plenty of time for the safety car to find its way out on the grid. But I think we have reached the halfway mark of this race now. So my voice is having a little bit of a rough time doing all this talking, so if I do go quiet for a moment, that'll be why, as we've had a bit of a spin. Is that Tier? That was Tier. Yes, as Eat My Dust and Aces look like they're set to go wheel to wheel once again. These guys have been inseparable. These guys have been battling and battling away, and perhaps they might want to think about working together as Eat My Dust goes very, very deep and Aces takes avoiding action. Eat My Dust gets up ahead, practically pushing Aces off the circuit or forcing him to go off the track. We might see that one later on, but I think that was just a genuine mistake from the McLaren. Well, from what it looked like, I didn't have the best angle speed on them in the meantime. He's not too far ahead. MX has done well to close up that gap, but I think he must have been using a fair chunk of his battery there to try and stay with the McLaren driver, who is all over the back of Hartmann now, who is on those 18 lap old tyres compared to Speed's fresh 2 lap old tyres, which will now be up to temperature. And Speed Alcoholic's going to be looking to go up the inside of the Haas driver. He goes up the inside, and I don't think Hartmann's going to fight that too much. No, he lets Speed go through, and Speed's now going to go ahead and catch up to Aces and Eat My Dust. And I think MX now is coming through too. So MX has actually found I think he's found some better pace on that medium tyre over Speed, and is using that to his advantage, and has now got within DRS. So this is going to be a battle that is going to be long fought. But look how much ERS MX has used in order to catch back up to Speed in that time. That's why he's closed up so much, because he's used a lot of his battery to do it, whereas Speed still has more or less a full tank. So MX might be shooting himself in the foot for the later stages of this race by using a lot of his battery just now. And Hartmann's lost 2 positions. He's down into 5th place now. I think he'll come into the clutches of the likes of Womack very soon as well, but I think the pit window might soon be opening for the medium runners as they start lap 21. Now with Eat My Dust trailing after Aces versus Kings, they might be working together a little bit. They're fairly equal on battery, but if they're going to keep the leaders behind, then yeah. But Eat My Dust looking again, but he's not close enough. He's looking to dive up the inside. He's made contact with Aces. He's hit him in the back. He hit him in the rear under braking there, and I think that's going to be one for the steward's room. I think a little bit later on, as that was very dodgy. Both of them losing out to the leaders immediately now, with Aces dropping way back to P8. That's going to throw his race strategy well up into the air. Doesn't look like he's got damage, which is thankful, but he will not be happy with that at all. Koru's still way back here on those hard tyres. It looks like he's trying to set up a move on the Red Bull. And oh, that's a huge crash! Eat My Dust has lost the rear end on the exit of the final corner. I got straight into the barrier. He's managed to keep the car going, but he's lost his front wing completely. That's going to throw him way down, and Speed Alcoholics into the pits now too. I think he must have got some damage off of that incident between Aces and Eat My Dust. So the leaders have all had their races go up into ruin, and MX, championship leader, has lucked out and found himself now in the lead of this race in no man's land with no need to stop again. I think this could be done and dusted for the reigning champion of Tier 1, unless a safety car comes out to put a stop to that. A lot happened in those in that previous 2 laps there. Both the McLarens find themselves way down the order now. Aces will be happy. He's gained 2 positions out of that. He won't be where he was, but he'll be happy, I think. At least to see that his rival got a little bit of karma thrown his way after that incident between the 2 of them, and Eat My Dust just shipping positions. He's got nothing to fight with, not without that front wing on his car. Head of the Ferrari. Haas having a very good day out there at the moment, but Hartmann's still yet to come in, so he'll drop way back because he's only a second up the road from his teammate at the moment, and they're closing in on him right now. Eat My Dust into the pits, drops way down to the back, and it looks like he's about to get lapped as well, so his day going from bad to worse. As Hartmann finally comes in as well. I think he'll drop down probably behind Speed, I want to say. But he could definitely get some work done here. The American in that Haas car. Yeah, he'll drop down behind Speed as it stands. We're keeping an eye on Jackalacco and Tinoz as well. The race has calmed down just a little bit. Not too many battles going on. Koru going on the attack on Zidane. He's going to go around the outside. He's been on those hard tyres for 20 laps, so he'll definitely get him to the end. But how they must be feeling right now is anyone's guess. I'm imagining they're very slippy and the grip is hard to come by. Zidane having the DRS, but he's not going to be close enough to launch an attack at this time at all. Jackalacco, a 3-second time penalty. And we'll have a look at the penalty situation, if we can. Everybody with a penalty on 3 seconds, other than Tyr, who's got 9. Aces and Jacko, importantly, find themselves with 3 seconds. So they might drop a few places come the end of the race. Let's go back here now. As the grid is all fairly spread out. There's only a couple of little battles going on further down the grid. MX, very lucky to have had Speed Alcoholic get involved in an incident. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I'm sure we will see that later down the line. But Koru and Zidane going wheel to wheel once more, side by side through turn 3, and side by side for the run down to turn 4. I think Koru might just have this. I think will Zidane try and brake late? He does brake later than Koru, but Koru's got the better line. Oh, they come so close to contact there. But Zidane, with the superior grip, gets better as Koru went off the circuit and got himself a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. And like I say, those hard tyres definitely feeling the burn of extreme tyre wear as Koru is sensibly coming into the pit lane. As that snap of that loss of grip has done as Tyr has left the session. He's retired in the pit lane. Koru into the pits. Aces versus Kings into the pit lane as well. I don't, he's not got damage, but it's definitely making it a 2-stop race for him. Womack's on the back of Tinoz here, so Tinoz could be in some trouble. He's got the Williams chasing him, but Tinoz has the slightly newer tyres over his rival. 10 laps of this race remaining. We've got MX leading with no competition after they all got involved in their own little incidents. He might have set in the fastest lap of the race in 1 minute 5.5. Lifebound looking to go wheel to wheel with Demoniac in the Red Bull. Not quite, not going to go on a wheel to wheel battle with him around that corner. And keep an eye on Womack, who's not quite close enough to make any significant moves. Or is he? He's closed up quite a bit on that last straight. Speed Alcoholic getting past the Dane before turn 1. Getting himself up to P6. He's looking to climb and back up. I reckon he'll get himself back into the top 5 for sure. Maybe even on that final step of the podium. He's not too far away. And he's on those soft tyres as well. And as long as the others don't come in, he'll be just fine. Jackalacco, good recovery drive from him. He's shot to a lot of positions in the early stages of the race and has found himself in P4. That time penalty might make he drops a position. But he's definitely fine for the moment. Hartmann and Slippy Jimmy looking to go racing as well. Hartmann trying to find a way past the Alpine driver, but it's not quite going to work out for him on this occasion, so he'll look to do it again, or perhaps into the DRS zones. Keeping an eye on Womack and still 7/10. He's dropping back. Is Womack, those older tyres showing their age now as we come into the dying stages of the race. There's not too much action going on right now. Perfect running around. Fast as that for Koru, who's put on some fresh soft tyres and is looking to go on the attack. He's on the back of this little fight here for P11. He's got Lifebout and Demoniac ahead of him, and he's going even faster. So this might be another fastest lap for the Aston Martin driver, and it looks like he's got the moves done on Lifebout. They're going to go wheel to wheel. Right down, are they? No. Koru gets ahead of the braking before the braking zone and gets that position fairly easily from the AlphaTauri, and he's looking to set up the move now on Demoniac. Those fresh soft tyres giving him the rubber to just bob and weave his way around cars, find the way past them in the quickest manner possible. Womack again closing back up. He dropped way back outside of a second, but has found that time once again, as he then doesn't find that time again. Continuing to sort of chop and change his position there. Tino's holding him off well, keeping him out of that threat range, as Hartmann goes up the inside of Slippy Jimmy. So these two battling away. Hartmann got the DRS on the second part of the corner. Oh, the second part of the sector, so he's not the sector even, but this second part of the move, I suppose. But finds himself up into P8, climbing that order. Well over half the grid now have penalties, I think. It's 16, so it's 1, 2. No, exactly half the grid have penalties now. Very easy to do around this circuit. This is the closest of the battles on track right now, so we'll keep an eye on this as we go along. Hartmann going defensive, breaking that toe, probably to his detriment. The Slippy Jimmy has closed in a little bit more now, and I think he might just go on the attack leading up to turn 3. His teammate's not too far behind as well, so the Alpine's looking to take that position away from the Haas driver. Demote him down to P10 at the moment. Meanwhile, Koru did get past Demoniac, and he'll be looking to try and join on the back of this train as well. Hartmann will be looking to defend with everything he's got. Speed Alcoholics caught up to the AlphaTauri of Traffic Alligator now, and he'll be looking to get the move done as quickly as possible if he's got any chance of getting within that 3 seconds of Jackalacco, which I think is going to be the best he can hope for. And the Alpine's very close together. It's very reminiscent of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix where Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon went wheel to wheel with one another for a few laps. I'm sure these guys will try and be as careful as they can going into on-track combat. But speaking of it, Aces tries to go up the inside of Traffic, not Aces, Speed goes up the inside of Traffic Alligator, who leaves him no room at all. They make contact, and Speed's going to try and go around the outside here And Alphatari squeezes him all the way around, really pushing him onto the outside, wheel-to-wheel stuff from the pair of them, and they come together. That was so easily avoided from those two. I think that was very, very bad. They've ruined each other's races now. They're going to have to stop again, the pair of them, without wing damage. They might choose not to, but that was very silly from the pair of them. One of them obviously not leaving the room for the other and costing each other a race. That will definitely be in the steward's room, I'm sure. Just leaves the Alpines now to settle this between the pair of them, as they've both got past Hartmann at this time after watching that incident. But Ace is on the attack. He's going to go round the outside of his teammate. They're going to go wheel to wheel, but I think Slippy Jimmy just slots in behind and lets Aces come through, the faster of the two cars perhaps, as Hartmann's on the attack as well. Koru almost onto the back of this battle as well. This is the closest battle we've got on track, so we'll keep an eye on it at the moment. Tinnels hasn't been able to carve away at that lead of MX as he comes to start lap 33. Only 4 more laps of this Grand Prix to go, and it looks like the reigning champion has got this win in the bag. But anything can happen in motorsport, so we won't say it's going to happen until the fat lady starts singing. The Ace is coming around, leading this train at the moment, and Koru's catching onto the back as well. All of them on soft tyres. Koru and Aces on the freshest of those tyres, all with penalties as well. We'll look at the penalty situation just to give you an idea of where the people are going to finish. Slippy Jimmy's got 6 seconds, so he'll be the big loser out of this lot. He's technically speaking already behind Hartmann and Koru as it stands right now, with that 3-second time penalty. Speaking of, Eat My Dust gets his 3-second time penalty, putting the total number of drivers with penalties up to 9 for the moment. As it looks like Hartmann's going to try and set up a move, as he has a little look, but he stays behind the Alpine for now, tries to stay with him, knows he's got the position with penalties as well, but if he can get past, and that's a retirement, that's Eat My Dust retiring in the pit lane. There's Eat My Dust has had enough of racing this evening, doing the sensible thing and retiring in the pit lane. And then leaving the session. Ace is looking in his mirrors, his teammates right behind him. I think these guys might go for a little skirmish between the two of them. Hartmann's not quite got the pace to keep up with him, which is putting him in the clutches of Koru. I don't think Slippy Jimmy's going to go on the attack, but Koru's got nothing stopping him. These are two different teams, so these guys are going to be fighting away in these dying stages of the race. Alpine looking for a very strong result. They'll be the highest finishing team if they stay here. Well, no, they won't. Will they? No, that'll go to Haas because of the time penalty situation. Tinnels has found himself in P2. 2 champions on the top 2 positions. The current Tier 1 and Tier 2 champion in P1 and 2. Quite fittingly as well. This is the reason why they're champions. They're quick drivers, they're consistent drivers, especially Tinnels. We've seen him find himself in positions that you'd never think to find him after the most poor of races. Speaking of positions, Jackalacco and Womack's going wheel to wheel now. Jackalacco's caught onto the back of the Williams and goes up the inside. He's got a lot of work to do in 1.5 laps to close that, open up that 3-second gap if he wants to keep that final place on the podium. But I think Womack's, if he can stop a penalty, will keep it, as Slippy Jimmy goes up the inside of his teammate and becomes the head of this train. It won't matter to him as he's going to drop way back behind. Koru's got past Hartmann and he's looking to get past Aces. They're going to go wheel to wheel. It's very tight between the two of them. There's a little bit of contact, but Koru gets his way through and past the Alpine and now becomes the head of this train theoretically, as the final lap is starting now with MX. We'll keep an eye on this battle, but MX has done an incredible job. He's been incredibly lucky. All his rivals around him, their races fell apart. But MX has managed to stay consistent, stay out of trouble, and stay in the lead of this race. Zidane might be brought into this battle as well, but he hasn't got any penalties, so he'll be left fine. It's Slippy Jimmy who's got all the work to do. Aces will want to try and get ahead of Koru if he can. These guys are racing. Koru, Aces and Hartman have all got 3-second time penalties, so these guys are racing for position. Slippy Jimmy is not, and it looks like Koru is going to go on the attack. He's going to dive up the inside of the Alpine. It's a clean pass from the Aston Martin, who came from a long way back to get that position. Slippy Jimmy on the attack now on the Aston Martin as well. This could be a dive bomb onto the inside. It's not, but Aces goes around the outside of his teammate. He'll be looking to get up ahead of the Aston Martin, but MX has won the Austrian Grand Prix, the final race of the season, with the Tier 2 champion following in behind in P2. Jakalako is going to get P3 on track, but Womack is going to get P3 on paper. Great drive from the Williams driver. Zidane coming home in P5 for Red Bull, with Koru and Aces. It's very close between the two of them. It's going to be a drag race, but Koru just gets ahead of the Alpine driver as Hartman comes home in P8 with Slippy Jimmy P9. Demoniac round the final corner. Oh, and he slowed way down. That was weird. But I think he ran out of fuel there, so Traffic Alley jumped in for P10. With Demoniac finishing P11 now. P12 goes to Speed, who had an abysmal race, with Ghost coming around the final two corners to finish P13. And well done to Lifeboat for finishing the race. I think he turned off his traction control around here, so it's a good job from him. Wow. Zidane driver of the day, very much deserved. I'll see how many positions he managed to get up, but there you are then, your final podium for the Tier 1 Season 4, with the champion quite fittingly taking the top step, as he also takes the Drivers' Championship trophy, joined there by Tinoz, the Tier 2 champion. It's nice for the two champions to share the podium, even if they are of different leagues. And Womack's getting the final step. Well done to him. But a great race. MX, your winner today, with Tinoz and Womack making up the rest of the podium. Jakalako, a valiant recovery to get back up into 4th place. And if not for that penalty, it would have been that final place on the podium. Zidane started P13 and finished P5. A great drive from the Red Bull driver. I'm sure he'll be one to watch coming into the next season. Koru, Aces, Hartman and Slippy Jimmy finished P6, 7, 8 and 9 in that order, after a great battle toward the end of the race, with Traffic Alley making up the final place on the podium, on the top 10. Demoniac, Speed Alcoholic, Ghost and Lifeboat make up the rest of the finishers, with Eat My Dust and Tyr not seeing the checkered flag. From lap 1 when I pitted there with 70%. Wow. How you managed to even make it to the pits, I don't know. Well, that was a great race, a great way to end what has been a fantastic Tier 1 season. If you did enjoy the racing, make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next season of Tier 1 action, which hopefully I will be able to bring you some of, or if not all of. It will all depend on my work schedule, of course. But and thank you for being incredible racers, guys, because without you guys, we wouldn't have anything to talk about on the channel. But a great Tier 1 season. It's been wrapped up. MX becoming the first two-time champion in Tier 1, so that's a great feat. Tinoz, I'm sure we'll see him coming in to challenge next season It's all Tier 2 is a great place to see the future Tier 1 contenders, and that's what I think we've seen pop over today. And even Life Bat, he did a good job today. He managed to finish the race, but turning off an assist is always difficult, especially for the first time. But well done to him. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on now. I've got to rest my voice for the next 17 minutes because I'm going to be joining Ghost over on ESRL for one of their league races. So if you want to have some more racing action, make sure you head over there. Make sure you obviously show your love and support to the channel, and go and check out our sponsor High Dive Apparel for all the amazing stuff that they do over there. And finally, make sure you check out all of our APPF1 affiliates, as they always post up some awesome racing content that include commentary or just onboard racing. But anyway, I'm going to wrap things up. I have been Sumo. This has been APPF1 Tier 1. This is the final race of the Season 4, so we'll see you very, 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 very soon for the next season of the Tier 1 Championship, where MX tries to defend his title from the many, many challengers that I'm sure will step up to the plate. But anyway, guys, I've been Sumo, and we'll see you next time.